Hello all my Kenvians and welcome to a new episode of Discovering Steven Universe. Today the episode I'm going to be watching is Room for Ruby. And as I mentioned at the end of the previous episode, I'm not entirely sure what might be going on. My best assumption is that Sapphire and Ruby split up again for whatever reason. And it revolves around that in some form. That's literally the only idea I have. So, without any further ado, let's get right into it, and I will figure out what the heck is going on in Room for Ruby. And go!
Is that star screaming?
Dear God!
What was that? Maybe because her gem is on her navel. Oh.
That Ruby! Holy crap!
A ruby falling from the sky, discovering this beautiful world. Sounds a lot like a story you told me once.
Oh, stop.
I don't know exactly where she'll fit in.
I don't know if it's the personality or what, but something just really seems off?
And that's the beauty of her.
Like, over-exaggerated.
Makes sense, but that's why you should have a look around.
Over-exaggerated, that's the word I'm looking for. It's like,
What's this for? That's a hammer.
she was kind of cute and happy before, but this is like,
I don't have to.
extreme?
I like to do it. Everything right away. She has no guard, no fear. I just don't get it. Why is it so easy for her when it was so hard for me?
That's... I feel like it's not legitimate. Because it's so over-exaggerated. I was right to doubt her. Holy crap.
Mr. Workshop.
Okay. The eerie music continues. Okay. So, Room for Ruby. This was a weird one. Just mainly because I have been playing some games that have had me on edge lately. Toki Doki Literature Club, which if you don't know what that is, I'll link to the playlist down below in the description. And also The Witch's House, which is an RPG Maker game, which also has you on edge because you can die at pretty much any moment. But I thought, like, maybe me playing those recently had me a bit on edge, and that's why I wasn't fully trusting Ruby here, because, again, like, she seemed so overly happy and just, like, super exaggerated, and the expressions were way over the top. But I wasn't wrong. It's like I had reason to doubt her. Because again, one thing I tried to say during the reaction portion, and again, I don't know if that actually made it to the YouTube cut, but is that whenever she's appeared before, she's seemed, very happy, very whimsical, I guess might be the word. But never that just out there, never just super happy, which I guess like it could have been explained that maybe that was because she was around the other rubies and she wasn't allowed to act that way. But still, something just felt so off. So the way this ended up was both surprising and not. I'm surprised that it actually did go that direction, but again, I suspected her pretty much the whole time. Like, I was basically right there with Lapis. I didn't fully trust her. or I found it very hard to trust her. So when the reveal came about, it made sense to me. But a few points about this episode. First of all, just Navy in general. Just a very bizarre character. And again, I understand what they were going for as far as like the deception here, because yes, Navy was the happiest and nicest of the rubies that appeared before. She was seemingly the only one that didn't have like malicious intent most of the time. Well, I mean, none of them really seem to have a lot of malicious intent, but she was the one that didn't seem to have like major aggression in her. So the fact that they had her turn out to be like, you know, a very, actually quite maniacal in still a strangely sweet way, almost. But yeah, just a very conniving, maniacal, using that friendliness to her advantage. I really like the fact that they use that, because again, it's misleading, and I might not have caught on to it until like, or I might not have caught on to it at all if not for the fact that, again, I've been playing these games that have had me on edge and second guessing everything lately. So yeah, Navy was definitely a major, like, well, I mean, obviously she was a major part of this episode, but a big part of this episode that I liked. My next favorite part is Lapis and Peridot trying to help her to bring her to understand the Earth, which, again, you know, she was catching on to it or adjusting to it very quickly, seemingly. But yeah, just the fact that they were making this attempt to help out another gem. It was like when it was just Peridot, you know, trying to help Lapis, obviously it was a very rocky road, and it was really hard for Lapis to really accept anyone's help. But it just, the both of them going in on it and, you know, doing what they could to help it out, including when Lapis like summoned that water to display how rain works. It was just, that was a really cool effect. And again, if it was someone other than Ruby or other than Navy attempting or that they were attempting to help, it may have, like, I think it would have legitimately worked. Again, it's hard to tell just because of how over-exaggerated she was, but like, if there were other gems that came to Earth, it's like, and they were like legit refugees, like trying to get away from homeworld, I feel like all of that would have been really helpful for them. Again, it's from the perspective of other gems, which might not be entirely accurate all the time, but it's from something that they can understand. It's like, you know, Peridot talking about how not talking to the corn. We as humans, and Steven is just like, that doesn't make any sense to really even mention, but from the perspective of another gem, it could make sense. And they might not even question the fact that that's even brought up, whereas we would. My next favorite part is just how it shows that Lapis was having troubles. I mean, obviously we knew that she had troubles adjusting to life on Earth in general, but those same troubles is like causing her to not understand how it is that Navy is able to seemingly adjust to life on Earth so easily, and that really bothered her. And I mean, that's a situation, obviously not in the over-exaggerated type like what Navy displayed. You know, getting used to new situations, new places. There are people who, like, that you spend time with, that you know or might have just met, and it's like you're introducing them to something that you've been doing or working on for years, and they catch on to it like that. It's a real situation that occurs, and which can, I mean, depending on your personality or depending on where you are in life, I mean, that can be really frustrating, because you'd be like, it took me years, it took me so long just to be able to understand this. How is it that they are adjusting so quickly? And that's a real life situation that I think they displayed rather well in this episode, from Lapis's perspective. Which also, it's like, they're at the end when it's revealed that obviously Navy had betrayed them and was just using them to get the ship back, and she had this maniacal need to see the looks on their faces when they found out that they were being betrayed. The fact that she was just laughing about it, she was like, I knew that something was up. This is so stupid. I really love that. And yeah, so, and it also worked as you could say that it sort of reassured Lapis in herself. It's like, you know, she was worried that maybe something was wrong with her, which is, again, another aspect of that real life situation where if someone else is adjusting quicker than you, you might start to question, is there something wrong with me? It's like, is it normal for people to just catch on really quick like this? But no, it's, again, that's just like, that's a example taken from real life that I think worked really well here. And just really one last part that I noticed and I really like and seems to be evolving like at a nice pace is Peridot's ability to control metal. It started out as like, you know, she opened the little umbrella to cover them from the rain that Lapis had made. And also the platform that hovered herself, Pumpkin, and Steven up to where Lapis was when she had run away. It seems like she's really gotten the hang of her metal controlling abilities. Again, I can't remember what kind of kinesis it's supposed to be. I know people have mentioned it in the comments before, but I can't remember it. But yeah, I really like that they are... It's like, it's not like all of a sudden she's an expert. They've shown that her abilities with it have been growing over time. It's like, yeah, she had that one big burst where she used like the metal to take out, or well, rather, to poof Jasper. But since then, it's like she's getting more and more control, and it's like it's becoming seemingly much easier for her to do, which again, it's a subtle touch that I really enjoy. And then, of course, the end there with with Garnet when she had the 2 balloons, which, I mean, since she can see potential futures, I guess that means there might have been one situation in which Ruby did stay, or Navy did stay, and maybe Navy decided to not be a complete evil jerk about it. I don't know. It might be one of those situations like in the Avengers Infinity War where, you know, pretty much every situation shows that this is going to end poorly. But there is one chance, there is one possibility where it could work out. So maybe that's why she got the other balloon, I guess. That's my guess. That's my best guess on it anyway. But yeah, this episode, I really liked it. Again, it was just really bizarre, and again, I probably, had I not been on edge and distrustful of Ruby the entire time, of Navy the entire time, maybe I would have seen it in a different light. But because I was watching her from the perspective of something seems off here, it made the episode more enjoyable to me because I kept waiting for the other shoe to drop, and when it finally did, it's just like, aha, right there with Lapis on that. So yeah, again, I really enjoyed this episode, but again, while I recognize that under normal conditions I might not, I'm really curious what you all have to say about this episode and whether or not you like it. Yeah, I want to hear your thoughts on this. I mean, I want to hear your thoughts on all the episodes that we go over, obviously. I know the last 2 have been touchy for some people in regard to, you know, some of the comments that have popped up. But yeah, I'm really interested to hear what your thoughts are on this and whether or not this is an enjoyed episode. Just because of the weirdness and the strangeness of the twist there at the end. I'm curious to see if people enjoyed it, or maybe they felt like it was too weird. I don't know, something along those lines. So please do let me know what you think in the comments down below. Both the episode itself and also what I've had to say. As always, repeating myself again, legitimately curious. So that's going to be it for this episode of Wait, nope, that's a Let's Play of Discovering Steven Universe. Next time, I'll be watching Lion 4 Alternate Ending, which we haven't had a Lion episode since, I want to say Season 2? Maybe Season 3. I'd have to go back and check on that, but it's definitely been a while since we've had, one of the Lion's name is in the title episodes. So I think it's pretty easy to guess that Lion is going to have something to do with this episode. What it could be? No idea. Alternate ending. I mean, maybe they'll put a spin on that and we'll discover the origins of Lion. Maybe. Perhaps. I don't know. That's the best guess I have, which is, I really said that a lot this episode too. But everyone, again, thank you so much for being here for this episode of Discovering Steven Universe, and I'll see you on the next episode for Lion 4 Alternate Ending. Later days.